WTBR.
Good afternoon. Variably cloudy skies and 80 degrees. This is Wayne Alley with a 12 o'clock edition of WGBR News. Wayne School Superintendent Darren Flowers cited the need for cooperation and coordination between the school system and agencies serving children in addressing yesterday's Goldsboro Symposium on problems and causes of troubled youth and a search for solutions. Flowers suggested schools should not have to set up many departments of health, mental health, and social services within the school system or hire nurses to administer the medication Ritalin to students.
Why should we have to call Goldsboro when there is some suspected child abuse? Why is social services not out there with us to work with us on working with that child abuse? Why do we have to call Goldsboro and set up an appointment for a child to come in to be interviewed in mental health to determine what their services are? Why is mental health not in our school setting working with those children? We have a cooperative program with the health department that has been very successful with health educators. But where are the nurses? Why do we have to hire nurses? And in the case of Ritalin, which may shock you, administer it either by the teacher, teacher assistant, or secretary.
Wayne School Superintendent Darren Flowers. On another matter, the group was told by Superintendent Flowers that a specialized center is the solution to the school system serving children with exceptionalities, and the system is pursuing it. Flowers said schools are teaching children with exceptionalities today because of changing attitudes. That was unknown 5 years ago. The superintendent explained that even though these children are in self-contained classrooms, that there is disruption throughout the school setting. He said the answer is the specialized center. That day-long symposium was told by State School Superintendent Bob Etheridge that it's not our youth who are troubled. Etheridge said it's our society that's troubled. He declared that our troubled youth are reacting in a reasonable way to an unsettling, unfriendly, and unsupportive society.
Give them a chance to prove that they're going to do a good job, and they will. That's a long way of saying that we have to solve the ills of our society, my friends, before we solve all the problems of our young people.
State School Superintendent Bob Etheridge. Yesterday's symposium was told by Head Start and Wages Child Development Director Betsy Thigpen that the word prevention is not in our vocabulary and definitely is not a part of our social policy. She told the gathering that we are so busy responding to the crisis of neglect that we hardly have time to think about prevention. Meanwhile, that symposium was told by Dr. David Taylor that poverty is a huge obstacle children have to overcome to get access to needed health care. He told the symposium participants that we have to look at the people responsible for getting these children to health care and the obstacles they must overcome to do so. That 100 people attending the symposium were told by Wayne Mental Health Center Clinical Director Jonathan Barnes how we can bring about a change.
In your folder, there's the addresses of the TV stations. You see a show that is destructive to our society, write the network. Write the sponsors. Make it part of your job each day. What you see on Tuesday night when you go to work on Wednesday, fire off a letter. Write the record tape CD companies about their irresponsible productions. Write your legislators about changing society's rules. Those of you in the schools, push for coursework on values, social responsibility, ethics, problem-solving skills, parenting skills, programs that take a stand.
Dr. Jonathan Barnes. Fremont Town Aldermen have approved the employment of 4 reserve police officers, and an update on the Farmers Home Administration loan for the town of Fremont's multi-million-dollar sewage project disclosed the town will pay an interest rate of 4.5%. Rush Limbaugh coming up at 12:05. The Weather Center forecast is next. I'm Wayne Alley.
From shiver to sizzle, winter to summer, Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Motor Oil can give you the hot-cold protection and everything in between. Inside your car's engine, the temperature can go from winter to scorching summer in minutes. That's the protection Phillips 66 Trop Arctic is engineered for. Just look for Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Motor Oil in the classic black bottle. Hot, cold protection, and everything in between. Available at Phillips 66 stations near you. Phillips 66 products distributed by Griffin Oil Company, 511 South John Street, Goldsboro. Have you got spring fever for a new car or truck? See Leith Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle and Leith Dodge Isuzu for big savings on 94 Dodge Ram pickups, automatic, AC, cassette, and more, only $238 per month. 1994 Dodge Sport pickups, V6, automatic, AC, and only $219 per month. For complete details, see Leith Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle and Leith Dodge Isuzu, Highway 70 West, Goldsboro. Payments based on 20% down, tax and tags, and $138 doc fee extra.
A vast change is on the offing for our weather over the next 24 hours. It should stay rather nice today, though, with partly cloudy skies, high temperature 76 to 80. Then becoming cloudy tonight, there is the chance for some light rain or drizzle after midnight, low temperatures between 50 and 55 degrees. And for tomorrow, cloudy and cool with occasional light rain and drizzle, highs only from the mid-50s northern North Carolina to low 60s across the south. I'm Brian Orzel in the Weather Center.
Tuned to the hottest national radio program in America, the program that makes all the others wannabes. The Rush Limbaugh program, the program which has defined modern communications and saved an entire form of communication. We are here for yet another excursion into broadcast excellence, and so let's just get started, okay?
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
Here we go, counting the days of the raw deal, one day at a time, for the last time, hopefully. The hostage crisis known as the Clinton presidency. Day 457 for the poor and the middle class. Day 476 for the rich and the dead. There are 1,009 days of this crisis. HR, when you got those overnight numbers, do you still have them in front of you? Do you have those numbers in front of you? Run, get those numbers. I want to do an average. That's the one thing we didn't do. We got the overnight ratings in the 30-metered markets. What that means is there are 30 cities in the country where there are, what do you call them? The meters is what they are, but the people have their TV sets wired into a central computer, and what they watch is automatically recorded, so you don't have to wait very long to find out what people watched. And this stuff pretty much is accurate. They meter 30 markets, and then when the whole nation survey comes in television a day or two later, it's fairly accurate. The nationals tend to help some shows and take away some of the strength of certain others. But we just got and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because of something Koppel said about Nightline. He said whenever they do Whitewater as a topic, their ratings go in the tank. And that's why he said, among other reasons, that he had James Carville and myself on the show. Did you watch it, Ramon? It's Ben Kubasic. What a snooty spoil. I'll bet Ben Kubasic is a worthless critic for New York News. I bet you he didn't even watch the show. Just got the reports of the overnights and made some comment that no new light was shed on the topic and the show, and basically he was disapproving of the fact that Carville and I would have been guests on this show. It's typical New York media critic. But the point is that Koppel said he had us on there for pizzazz, and if that's the case, if Koppel had Carville and I on that show just to give it ratings and it worked, because I'll just wait. HR is writing the numbers down in there now. We got the overnights today, and it's once again just a positive sign for this program and the EIB Network and you people together. While those numbers are coming in, get this. The city of Los Angeles, this is the front page today, page one story of the Los Angeles Daily News.
The city of L.A. has ordered an adult nightclub to remove a shower enclosure where nude dancers cavort for customers. You know, they bring out a shower and it's got curtains drawn, and then nude dancers go in there and take a shower while they're dancing and so forth. Thanks, HR. Did you average these out?
I did average.
You did? I'll average them out. They forced them to remove this shower enclosure because, listen to this, the shower has no wheelchair access. This place is called the Oddball Cabaret. Now, the reason they've told them to remove this shower enclosure is because it is discriminatory, since it did not provide people in wheelchairs equal opportunity to work at the club as nude dancers. You heard me right. Nude, wheelchair-bound dancers are prohibited from dancing in this place because the shower enclosure does not have wheelchair access. This is kind of like providing strippers in Braille so that blind patrons can enjoy themselves. You know, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We have regulation now going beyond any common sense. What would be next? Installing ramps up to the pitcher's mound in professional baseball so that wheelchair-bound pitchers can pitch? Isn't Major League Baseball... nude wheelchair dancers is what we're talking about here. But is there such a thing? I don't go to these kinds of places. Mamone, I know you read about them. And you may go. Is there such a thing as a nude wheelchair-bound dancer? Has anybody heard of this? Well, I've never seen a nude, I've never seen a wheelchair-bound baseball player either, but you never know what may come next. Trampolines on basketball courts so short guys can dunk. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Vice President Al Gore was asked to comment on the rugged travel schedule that he and his wife Tipper have faced over their first vice presidential year. And here's what Vice President Al Gore said. He said, "Airplane travel's nature's way of making you look like your passport photo." A tree? You know, Al Gore does a perfect impersonation, a flawless impersonation of a tree. Now get this. This is just exactly what I was talking about the other day when I warned you people to be on the lookout for the creeping step-by-step incursion into your life by the federal government, especially regarding smoking. The Coca-Cola Company was criticized Wednesday on the Senate floor for what one senator contended was a campaign to keep school children awash in soda pop. Senator Patrick Leahy, Democrat, Vermont. In fact, it was only 2 months ago, I sent Senator Leahy, at the request of a friend of his, as a mutual friend. I know this friend, I don't know Senator Leahy, but this friend said, "Hey, send Pat a copy of your last book and autograph it this way." So I did. The autograph said, "To the next Senate Minority Leader, Patrick Leahy, my best, Rush Limbaugh." So I sent it in. Anyway, Senator Leahy, who is chairman of the Senate Agriculture Committee, made a speech on the Senate floor yesterday, and he said that child nutrition programs are again under attack, this time from one of America's corporate giants. Leahy accused the Coca-Cola Corporation of launching a stealth campaign against legislation designed to improve the nutritional quality of school lunches. It's another assault on a giant U.S. corporation. Now, stop and think of this. In the meantime, we are giving condoms away in as many schools in this country as we can. But we're trying to get rid of cigarettes and vending machines, and now begins anew an attack on the Coca-Cola Corporation because Coca-Cola is purposely destroying the nutrition of young school kids. They're running around with knives and guns. They're beating each other up. There's a story, I think it's here in New York City. I didn't cut it out of the newspaper, but a 14-year-old student went into class yesterday and pistol whipped a 36-year-old teacher. And the rest of the students stood around and watched in horror. The teacher's unnamed, at least in the story I read. The teacher says, I can't believe that he was able to get in here with a gun. I just can't believe he was able to... That's right. We're more concerned about whether they have a cigarette or now whether they're drinking Coca-Cola at lunch. It's just absolutely... It's laughable. It's fatuous, too. I'm going to total these numbers up. We got a break coming. Also, the media... I love seeing this. Not all of them, but there are a lot of things I read today. The media is really upset at the president because he's out there driving around in his classic Ford Mustang, then going on MTV and answering questions about what kind of underwear he wears. And meanwhile, the world's falling apart. Bosnia is erupting. A number of things are going on. The president's on MTV talking crumb crunchers about his underwear. There are some interesting things we need to say about Bosnia today, too, because the president is doing it's so predictable. He's now blaming the Bush administration for our Bosnian problem. He inherited all of this from Bush. That's why we shouldn't blame him. Well, let's talk about that. Rodney King's aunt says that $3.8 million is not enough. After the lawyers take their cut, Rodney will never, ever work again. Rodney, $3.8 million is not enough for Rodney King. For whatever purpose it'll serve. I am going to review for you people today just what Rodney King did before he was apprehended in that chase, and what many of you may have forgotten, what he's done since. We'll be back. We got a quick break. 1-800-282-2882 is the number. Don't go away.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Say, how many of you folks have a computer? I find it hard to believe that in this era, a lot of people wouldn't have one. It's critical. It's mind-expanding. And a computer is the only way you can access CompuServe. I've told you people that CompuServe is the best. It's the most comprehensive online service anywhere, and it is, because I use it. Here's how the pricing works at CompuServe. For a ridiculously low $8.95 a month, you get over 70 basic services, which in and of themselves are great. There's the CompuServe Mall, there's news, weather, sports, electronic mail, which I use all the time to communicate to you people, financial stuff, travel services, airline reservations, so forth. I mean, the first month, by the way, is free when you sign up, and for an additional hourly rate, which is also pretty low, you can access thousands of additional services, including hardware and software support. Now, this is where the information business is going. I know, because I'm there. Join me on CompuServe. Call 1-800-787-RUSH. I've been using it for over 10 years. You will love it. CompuServe, 800-787-RUSH.
Imagine having a virtual photographic memory and being able to meet over 100 people and remember all their names. Or have instant recall of virtually everything you see, hear, read, or even think about. This is Kevin Trudeau, founder of the American Memory Institute. As seen on TV, over 2 million people have already benefited from the easy-to-learn Mega Memory Home Study course and released their own instant recall photographic memories. Now, it's your turn. Call 1-800-862-MEGA. That's 1-800-862-MEGA.
Just one taste is all it takes at McCall's Barbecue and Seafood in Goldsboro. Our luncheon buffet is a favorite treat with 5 meats, 9 vegetables, salad, homemade biscuits, and dessert. McCall's Barbecue and Seafood specializes in delicious wood-cooked barbecue pork, served fresh daily, plus chicken, beef, tasty fried chicken, turkey, and seafood. McCall's has it all. Just one taste is all it takes at McCall's Barbecue and Seafood, Highway 70 and 111, Goldsboro.
A.T. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive is offering a sweet deal. Just buy a Train XL 1100 package gas electric system before May 31st and you'll receive up to $150 in quick savings rebates on the spot. The XL 1100 comes with a legendary Climatuf compressor and an exclusive manufacturer's 10-year limited warranty on the compressor and coil. It's hard to stop a train and hard to beat a rebate from E.T. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive. Call 658-2971.
Have you got spring fever for a new car or truck? See Leith Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle and Leith Dodge Isuzu of Goldsboro for big savings on 94 Dodge Caravan. Loaded, automatic, AC, cassette, cruise, and more. Only $273 per month. 94 Plymouth Colt, only $163 per month. See complete details at Leith Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle and Leith Dodge Isuzu, Highway 70 west of Goldsboro. Payments based on 20% down, tax and tags, and $138 dock fee extra.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there is more than just a slogan. It's a promise that we will be there when you need help. When you have a claim, you can count on Goldsboro State Farm agent Greg Foster to get it handled quickly and fairly. That's what good neighbor service is all about. So for all your insurance needs, car, home, life, and health, see your good neighbor State Farm agent, Greg Foster, at 908 East Ash Street, Goldsboro.
Only information superhighway you'll ever need. Rush Limbaugh, the Turnpike of Truth, we call it. 1-800-282-2882. All right, here are the ratings. And again, I'm going to share these numbers with you only because Koppel said that in response to some question they got from the audience, that whenever they do Nightline, whenever Nightline does Whitewater's a topic, their ratings go in the tank. And to prevent that from happening, they had me and Carville on. And some critics have said, well, that takes away from the substance of the show, which, of course, is just jealousy on the part of the liberal critics. But here are the numbers. For the first hour, since I'm going to compare Nightline to Letterman to Leno. Even though Nightline went an hour and a half, and Letterman and Leno go a full hour. Let's just compare the first hours. First hour. Nightline had a 6.3 rating and a 19 share. Letterman had a 5.8 rating and a 17 share. So Nightline wins the night by half a rating point. The Tonight Show had a 4.7 and about a 27. I'll give him a 14 share. So you get a 6.319 for Nightline. A point, by the way, is just figure it's about 1 million homes. It's like 941,000 homes that are watching, so per rating point. So Nightline gets a 6.3, Letterman a 5.8, and Tonight Show 4.7. So Nightline's decision to get Carville and me on the program for pizzazz worked. It also drew a crowd. It was the #1 late night show in the country on Tuesday night. It was a good thing because it was a show that people needed to see. Now the last half hour of Nightline goes up against whatever CBS is running from 12:30 to 1, and the first half hour of Conan O'Brien. Look at this. CBS a 4.6, or a Nightline rather, a 4.6 19 share. That's hardly any drop off at all from that second half hour. I mean, people stayed up. This is incredible. Letterman, though the CBS followed, had a 1.5, and Conan O'Brien's first half hour was a 2.2 rating. For the 90 minutes from 11:30 to 1, ABC Nightline a 5.7 19 share, CBS a 4.3, and NBC a 3.8. So there. The show was, no matter how you slice it, the most watched late night show on Tuesday night. And I, again, will thank many of you out there for watching and making these numbers happen. Here is Al in Ocala, Florida, as we start with phones today. Welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program.
Hello, Rush. Dittos from Central Florida.
Thank you very much.
The night you had your Nightline show, CNBC had a show called Talk Back America. I don't know if you heard about it.
You know, I was at home. I watched a little bit of it, and right as I left, I understand I became the topic. I did not.
Yes, sir.
I did not see that. But
somebody from the audience asked to the panel or somebody on the panel to explain your phenomenal popularity, and Geraldo jumped up immediately and said, "Oh, he's feeding on the malaise of the country and the hatred and things." He didn't use the word hatred, but it was implied in that sense. And Mary Matlin, God bless her, just jumped right in and she says, "That's pure cow pie."
Is that what she said?
She said,
cow pie?
Pure cow pie. And she said if anybody would listen to Rush for more than just 5 minutes and listen to him on a regular basis, they'd realize that he speaks of family values and you know, Americanism and everything. And she really did a good job of rebutting his comments. So I didn't know whether you'd heard what they were, and I just wanted to pass that on to you.
Thanks very much, Alice.
Okay.
That stuff's nothing nothing new. It's driven by envy, it's driven by jealousy, and it's also driven by people who actually haven't listened. I guarantee you Geraldo hasn't listened to this show enough to know what's going on here. He's only subjected to what critics say about it. And that's why I say there are the two Rush Limbaughs. There's the one that you listen to and watch 17 and a half hours a week, and then there's the other one that's written about that people who don't watch or listen write about. And it creates all kinds of confusion. People say that this is a program. See, have you ever noticed what happens? I'm speaking specifically to you in this audience, whether you're liberal or conservative. Mary McGrory did it the other day, last Sunday in the Washington Post. Mary McGrory chose to write a piece praising Garrison Keillor, who can't get on the air to save his life, where ratings matter. Garrison Keillor showed up at the Radio TV Correspondents' Dinner in Washington not long ago and made a speech defending the president. And this was a fascinating speech because in the speech there was a paragraph devoted to me about how, I forget what it said. It said, it must be fun to say the things Rush Limbaugh says, but I can't believe you would base your life on them. And then every comment Keillor made was almost an exact replica of what I say and believe. So Garrison Keillor hasn't listened to this show either, yet he chose to comment on it. Mary McGrory writes a piece in which she praises Keillor for coming to the president's defense. A man in the media who is not taken to, or not given to harshness or whatever she thinks radio talk shows are. And she referred to, now listen, this is where the insult of you comes in, and this is what liberals who don't get it here do, and I want you to be very sensitive to this because it's really an insult to you, not me. Mary McGrory said that Garrison Keillor is the Rush Limbaugh for the literate, which means that you who listen to this show are morons, in her opinion. This is an objective Washington columnist, ostensibly. This is a woman who is considered to be a seasoned citizen and dean of columnists and very respected. But you are illiterate. You're morons, those of you who listen to this program. The point is that she insults, and this is exactly what liberals do. It's an arrogant condescension. As they seek to criticize me, they end up impugning you. They end up impugning a significant number of American people. And the same thing with Geraldo or anybody else. If Geraldo will say, well, Limbaugh's popularity is due to the fact that he feeds on fear in the American people. Geraldo is basically saying that you are morons, that you're a bunch of dolts and idiots who are mind